Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to this YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can create content and go absolutely viral in the car sales industry, okay? So I want to reveal exactly step by step how you can go through this exact process so that you can get results like my client Javon, who has 70,000 plus TikTok followers at the moment, is getting brand deals, getting leads, all the freaking time. So stay tuned all the way to the very end of the video to make sure that you understand exactly how you can write a piece of content and reiterate and make content that will blow you up, make you sales, and allow you to actually grow and scale your sales, okay? So jumping straight into this, all right, guys, I want you guys to understand when it comes to making content go viral, all right, there's an aspect of it that it gets you to get exposure with your content, okay? So this video is about getting people to know you, all right? But there's other pieces of content that we'll cover in other videos that will get people to know, to like you and trust you. That's a completely different ball game. But this video is all about going viral, right? Which is getting people's attention, okay? So there is a lot of things that I want to cover first that I see people do wrong, all right? So the biggest things that I see people do and have a mistake is that they try to sell with their content. Your content is designed to build relationships because relationships are the reason why people want to do business with you, right? Because they feel like they actually know, like, and trust you, right? You have to take time to actually cultivate the relationship rather than asking for sales. So when you ask somebody that's a complete stranger, hey, do you want to buy a car? It's more likely than not, 99% of the time, people are going to be like, no, fuck you. I don't know who you are, right? So that's exactly what happens when you try and like just post a random car, try and find a needle in the haystack, and it just doesn't work. And you wonder why, oh, social media doesn't work for me, da-da-da-da. Obviously, right? Because you don't know what you're doing. So that's why you're here. So when it comes to making content, all right, there is the whole idea of what you want to do with your content is to provide value in some way, shape, or form so that you can create content that has substance, that has meaning, and that is revolving around trying to actually give your, viewer something, okay? So the very tactical side of the process, this is how I'm giving you guys like the sauce. I paid $25,000 in a mastermind to learn some of this stuff, and I'm just giving it to you for free because I'm a G. But anyways, when it comes to putting out content like this, the first thing that you want to understand is that you can make content just basically about anything, right? People get too caught up about like what to post. So just think about what can you provide value on, right? There's a few things that you can think of. How can you educate your customer about the car buying process? How can you, provide value? Value is broken down into a few things, right? Which is education, entertainment, and relatability, right? So how can you sprinkle in that sauce so that you can give somebody some value when they watch your content, okay? So when you put out pieces of content, right? On TikTok, it's super easy. The thing is you can just flick out your phone, start taking a video, and then from there just be able to post that on TikTok and like make the process super easy. And if you guys have ever used TikTok, it's like the easiest platform that you can actually go ahead and use. Okay, so when you go ahead and you post out 3 pieces of content a day, that's what I recommend you start doing is you just start posting, right? It doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be great. You're going to suck ass at creating content, but that's perfectly fine. You're going to be bad in the beginning, but you need to start getting the repetitions, and the basics and the fundamentals is just being consistent, okay? So whether you do 3 posts a day, you do 1 post a day, or whether you actually do 3 posts a week, whatever it is, the whole thing that I want you guys to understand about posting and the frequency of posting is not about posting a lot to get more views. What you're posting to do is to get more data points, all right? So I want you guys to understand that like with content specifically, you need to be extremely analytical about, how your content does, right? So what I mean by getting data points is when you post a piece of content, what you'll see is you'll start to see, okay, one type of video did better than the other one. And this is where you get to throw shit at the wall, right? You just get to be creative. You got to be like, oh, okay, today I want to try this. I want to do that. I want to do something new. Da-da-da-da-da, whatever, right? So with that pieces of content, once you throw a bunch of shit at the wall, you're going to have like 20, 30 different data points, and you're going to look at all of your videos and be like, okay, which one had the most views? What did I talk about in that specific video, right? And then from there, what you want to do is you want to look at the post that did well and look at all the questions that, people comment and ask you about, right? So that you can start taking data points on like what people are picking up on and like why people watch a specific video about like this specific topic. All right. So once you find the winners from the pieces of content that do extremely well, and you see what topics people are mostly interested in when it comes to your niche, and when it comes to making your content, you can figure out your style, right? Just make sure that, again, coming up with the content idea is the easy part. Just don't do the normal mundane shit like I was telling you guys, like posting a walk around video with no face and music. That shit's boring. Like, nobody's going to watch that shit. Nobody's going to buy your cars because of it. You want to provide value. You want to educate your customers. You want to tell your customer or your viewer or your potential person about how the buying process works, how they can find a specific type of vehicle, because that's going to allow them to build that relationship with you, because you're not selling them. You're literally giving them information that allows them to be like, oh, hey, I like this guy. I'm going to shoot him a follow, right? So that's what's going to allow you to then separate yourself from every other sales professional, because your content actually has substance and meaning behind it, right? Which allows people to actually want to follow you, right? So as you go and you find the highest performing pieces of content, what you do from there is you pick the one that does well and you start to optimize it, right? So when I say you optimize a video, there's a couple things that you want to go ahead and do. So the first thing that you want to optimize is the hook, right? So the hook is the most important part of the video, because I'll break down this content framework in just a moment, but the hook is the first 3 to 5 seconds of the video. And like when you actually see a hook, you have 3 to 5 seconds before somebody scrolls off your video. So you need to establish their attention and be able to grab it and give them a reason as to why they should watch the piece of content all the way through and actually be able to consume that piece of content, right? So optimize the hook, right? So for example, instead of just saying, hey, what's up, guys? My name is da-da-da-da. I work at XYZ dealership. Boom. They already scrolled off. They're like, this shit's boring. I don't care. Other than the difference is a solid hook is like, hey, if you hate going to the dealership and spending hours at this, watch this video, right? So they're like, oh, shit, like I'm looking to buy a car soon. I'm going to watch this video because I don't like going to the dealership. I don't want to spend a ton of time doing it. So that's a big difference. So optimize the way that you can do your hook, right? The hook could literally be like what's in the background, what you say. How can you capture somebody's attention? Ask yourself that question, right, when you create content, because that's what's going to allow you to be able to reel somebody's attention in, because once you have their attention, it's about retaining their attention, okay? So that's where you go into optimizing the body of the post, and I'll kind of explain to you guys what the body of the post here is, right? So the body of the post is basically what you say in the video. So what you say in the video, you want to see at what points in the video that you're watching and you start to lose attention. You're like, oh shit, like this is boring now. So when you re-optimize your video, next time you rewrite that piece of content, just try and figure out how you can inject more tonality into it, or different types of ways that you can create and make the body of the video more engaging, that makes somebody like want to watch it. So like rewatch your videos and be like, okay, at what point did I stop watching? Because if you stop paying attention, not other people are going to stop paying attention as well, right? And then also a very big part as well is ask yourself, can your grandma watch this video and understand what you're saying, right? A lot of the times we like to be very technical. We like to be very nuanced about what we say, how we say it, and so on and so forth when we explain something. But you want to boil it down to the basics, right? Because everybody has like the attention span of a gnat, and most people aren't that intelligent. So when you're speaking to most people, you actually want to go ahead and simplify and make the context of what you say very easy, very digestible, right? That's why short form content is the way that short form content is designed, is to be short, quick, and digestible, right? That's the ones that do the best. So when it comes down to actually creating the content framework, use this framework when you create your pieces of content, right? And this is the same exact framework that Alex Ramosi uses when he creates his content. I use something similar to this. And if you watch any of my content, I follow this framework every single time, just so that I can continue to drive and capture people's attention and help them watch what I have to say, so that they can actually consume my content, shift their beliefs, and purchase what I have to say, right? So that's the whole point of content. So with the content framework, right, the first thing that you want to dial in is the hook, right? So I was telling you, the hook is the most important aspect of the video. Then you go into the problem, right? So what do most people not like having to deal with when it comes to, buying a car, right? What are some of the problems? What is it like searching for the vehicle? What is it like getting qualified for the vehicle? What is it like, after the sale? What is it like with all of these problems? You can write out all the problems that your customers face and then start making content and videos about that specific problem that they're facing, right? So then you can point out a common mistake, right? What do they usually fall into the trope of because of that problem? And then give them a recommended approach. What can they do differently, right? And then give them an example or a comparison of the contrast of what they should do versus what they what they are doing versus what they should do, which allows them to achieve a specific benefit of following what you tell them to do, and then give them action steps so that they can actually follow through and get some sort of value. So then you can see how this piece of content is structured, right? You have the hook, capture their attention, you explain something that they're going through. So you tell them in the hook like what they're getting from the video, and you deliver on that promise from the beginning and tell them exactly what it is that you're looking that they were trying to learn in the first place, right? So you deliver that piece of information and that value so that they're like, oh, okay, cool, I actually learned something from this video, right? And as you guys can see, like as you deliver solutions and educate people on their problems, and then you give them some actionable step and they get something from your content, they're going to want to watch your stuff again and again and again. That's how you create followers, right? So from that, right, I'm going to give you guys a live example of like what a actual piece of content can look like, so you can see how my brain works when I actually produce a piece of content in the beginning. Okay, so the hook, right? Let's say, for example, we are talking to people that are trying to purchase vehicles. So if you hate dealing with salesmen, then watch this video, right? Boom. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't like dealing with salesmen. It kind of captures their attention, and you want to tell them that if you hate dealing with salesmen, then watch this video, right? So hate dealing with salesmen, and you want to buy a car in less than an hour, watch this video, right? So grab their attention, told them what they're going to get by watching this video. So the problem is, right, what do most customers run into? Most people hate going to the dealership for hours because they end up spending so much time in there, and it's a hassle throughout the entire process. It's just a pain in the ass, right? So the common mistake, what most people end up doing is they come to the dealership unprepared, without paperwork or an approval, and they have no idea what they want. You know, they make the process that much harder, right? So the recommended approach is get approved for a loan, bring your pay stubs and your license to make the process very smooth when you come in to the dealership, so we can get you in and out, right? So in this process, I give an example or compare, right? So what they're used to doing. So instead of having your stuff prepared, as opposed to showing up to the dealer where we have to do all this stuff for you, will save you so much more time and save you the hassle, right? So that is the benefit as well. So, and then the action step is when you go to the shop, make sure that you bring your pay stubs, approval, and license. And then your call to action is like this post for more content like this. Okay. So that is an example of the framework broken down in live in action. So like you can take this framework and make a bunch of different pieces of content like this, right? And me personally, I start off in the beginning, like scripting out all of my content. Now sometimes I just hop on here and I rip it because I've gotten used to it. But if you need to in the beginning, you can just, create a script and go through that if you want to get your ideas like thoroughly put in a specific manner. Or you can just flick on the camera, start talking, and then, be able to pick the topic and go through this framework, okay? So there's a couple ways that you can go about it. There's no right or wrong answer. The most important thing is that you post content to get data points to then reiterate and then be able to dial that process in. So with that being said, if you found this piece of content helpful, you like this video, and you're a sales professional stuck anywhere between 5 to 20K a month, and you want my help, then book with the link down below. You can set up a call with me and my team, and I can see if you're a good fit based on where you're at. But otherwise, if you aren't sold, watch all my other pieces of content. Go watch the client results and everything else that we've been able to produce based off this information that I'm giving to you. And from there, once you're ready to rock and roll, book in a call, and then we can go from there. But otherwise, if you like this video or you have any questions actually about like how to write content or anything else like that, drop a comment down below. I'll make a video about it in the future. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Peace.